right? Cyber risk management. So cyber risk management is a new emerging risk for most companies. All right, because almost every company have got websites, web address, emails, contact point. Agree or not? Many of them are also trying to get into Facebooks, right, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms. Are there risks? Let's look at top 5 prominent risks last year. Sony sued over PlayStation Network being hacked. All right, how much do you think if someone wants to sue Sony? How much do you think they will sue Sony for? That is the question to ask. How much should you get covered for your company? That's the same question we should be asking. Alright? Then, what about letters like this, sent out by Hilton to all their customers? Dear customers, we are so sorry to inform you, our server has been hacked, your contact detail and information has been compromised. Do you think there's a cost for even Hilton to write a letter like this? So costs like this can also be transferred or taken care by insurance or risk providers. Okay? Then we look at the bigger and the famous one, Google. Even Google gets hacked. So are they safe? They're quite safe, alright? So, but even then, they don't even know who is the one hacking them. Likely China, they're not point. Likely, okay? What about Mr. Facebook himself? Right? Mark Zuckerberg. Even his Facebook page got hacked in and defaced. Alright? This is like going to your house, open your door and slap you 2 times, and then close your door for you and say bye-bye. Okay? Now, often such hacking process, I realize that when doing some preliminary information, I find that in YouTube, they teach you how to hack. And you can pay for about as low as $5 a month. They'll give you full customer service support for hacking, providing you with toolkits for hacking. So are servers in Singapore safe? Whereby earlier we heard some servers have got state-of-the-art software, right? Firewall, but they have got the old hardware that can't support things like that. Or vice versa. Very new state-of-the-art server, but old software because it's cost, right? So all these are areas whereby we need to identify all this. Hackers breach website of intelligent group called Stratfor. Have you heard of Stratfor? They are a company that deals with information, and information are being hacked, right? And this one is 27 December. So 26 December they were hacked, and then they make noise about it. 28th of December, another attack. Who attacked them? This famous group called Anonymous. Have you heard of this group called Anonymous? Right? They are world famous hackers around the world, often using this name called Anonymous. So they hack in and attack people who complain. You complain, right? I hack into your... You complain again, I hack again. And you still do not know who hacked you. This is worse. This one, go into your house, go into your bedroom, and sleep beside you, you also don't know. Right? So things like this do happen. What about Singapore then? Cyber breaches. So I give you 5 cyber breaches in Singapore. We don't have time in each of these, but here, SG website, risky for Singapore. So this one, websites, where is this being hacked? Right? This one is a global security studies of software in Singapore being hacked. We are ranked top 10 most risky place to be hacked. Alright? In other words, the top 10 most easiest place to look for information. Okay? Next news, Malaysia football fan hacks Singapore website. Of course Singapore won. Alright? But their football fan not happy. Hack and deface the website. RI. Any RI people? Don't have to raise your hands. Okay? So RI's website being hacked and replaced with an Indonesian crest. Right? So this was reported. Are they safe? Now the question is, after this happened, what do they do? Nothing. Right? So again, that's why our risk is very high. These are emerging risks for a lot of companies as well. Right? Malaysian hackers, right, breached Singapore National Park Board. So even our government agencies are being hacked into. Okay? Ex-programmer, crazy caught fine for software tampering. Right? So a lot of time our internal breaches are very common. Okay? So being owners of business, is this your problem? Yes, they're all your problem. So there are even insurances to take care of such specific risks called cyber liability. Right? So just a little bit more background. Okay, so cyber attack can happen to anyone. So who are the anyone? Right? DPM Teo Chee Hian mentioned about this last year, right? In a global forum, right? Global dialogue. He talked about cyber crime in Singapore cost 1.1 billion. Well, of course, billion is no big deal anymore, right? It's the new million. But can companies sustain all these additional costs or unpredictable costs for businesses? Alright. So cybersecurity, the overview is third-party liability covers disclosure liability. Sometimes you do things without disclosure. You are at fault. Like McDonald's, they tell you your coffee is hot. Isn't that obvious? Right? Caution, hot for your coffee. But imagine they don't have that. McDonald's was once sued for serving hot coffee because someone spilled coffee on their lap. And they were sued for that. I was not being disclosed that there was hot coffee inside a coffee cup. Alright? Reputational loss. Very common. Alright? So there's cost involved there that can cause chronic or fatal situation to company. Content liability, conduit liability, and impaired access liability, server down. Right? All these are costs involved. Right, 3 more slides, or we'll speed up. So these are third-party liabilities. These are first-party liabilities, whereby e-commerce and disruption causing the business on a first-party basis. E-Vandalism, causing liabilities to the company on a first-party liabilities, and e-threat losses. So these are emerging risks to look into in terms of business planning. Right? So these are Alright, so these are people who need cyber insurance. Any companies who have host, share, or transmit proprietary or confidential data. In today's term, everyone. Companies who publish electronic content, social media or otherwise, i.e. everyone else. Companies who transact business and generate revenue from internet, they need this even more. Companies who have exposure to consumers or identity theft, including remedy costs and notification costs. Companies whose business operation would be impacted by service disruption, alright, due to cyber crimes, right? Companies whose high profile increased probation or extortion. So big names are the bigger your business grow into, more likely you're targeted for such event. Companies who outsource storage, processing, sharing confidential information with third-party providers, right? Mr. Raju talked about cloud computing, right? And many of us are using that today. Right? Companies who have exposed to damage or destruction of their own data. Right? So if it's lost, it can be found, but what happens when it's damaged? Okay? So these are areas these are people who need cyber risk coverage or cyber liability. Right? So just to quickly recap, business ecology, these are the areas that we need to look into for risk management and business continuation. Without even looking into these areas, IT will plan for IT, compliance and legal will plan for legal, right? A lot of times the financial part are being left out in that process. Okay, so my last slide, I would want to give this to you. So I wish all of your business and company well, like this end, that you can be resilient in times of crisis. My name is Paul C. Thank you very much.